Yeah, so let's see. Longs Peak is the closest 14er to Boulder, Colorado, where I live, but it's also the most interesting technically 14er, I think, in Colorado. There's the diamond on it, which is perhaps the most important alpine big wall in the lower 48. Any route to the summit of Longs requires some technical competency, which I find to be interesting. In the summer of 2011, I broke my leg, and in the recovery from that, I started doing a lot of hiking, and I realized that if you have steep enough terrain and technical enough terrain, you can actually go really high intensity while still only just hiking, so really low impact. And that completely changed my orientation to what mountain running was. Before that, I was very concerned with being able to run every step, no matter how steep it was. And this just limited me to trails with good footing. When I opened myself to the concept of hiking uphill, I very quickly progressed into looking for the steepest lines, the most technical lines, and as a result, you quickly get into scrambling and then even rock climbing. And that's where I found myself for the 2012 season then. So I went up on Kiener's with Buzz and Peter, and I was just so, I don't know, inspired by the route and the mountain. I came back the next 2 days on my own, went up Kiener's both times again. This was just immediately like what I wanted to be doing. It was basically moderate mountaineering or alpine rock routes, but you know, solo and running the approach and the egress. It's just meant to be like the bare bones and just like data basically, yeah. So here on August 7th last year, so almost exactly a year ago, up Kiener's down cable, FKT, and 7 minutes faster. Almost, that basically all came in the downhill, like I said, because I took the cables down. But that always, going sub 220 had always been my goal, because I knew if I could go that fast uphill, that like with a sub 45 minute downhill, like, yeah, I could go under 220. So. Yeah, so this was the FKT. So that'd have been June 24th for Kiener's round trip, 226, that I broke last summer then by 7 minutes. I did 134 last week going up Kiener's, and I was like, oh, like. But see, the Boulder is a new split though. That's why I have Boulder like in parentheses there, because I just started taking a split there. The first longs? Yeah. It would have been back in 2012. It would have been June 8th, yeah, 2012, up and down Keyhole from the East Trailhead. Yeah, at the time that was the FKT for up, but see, so after 30 minutes on the top before I descended, so the round trip was bogus because I just like hanged out on top for half an hour, but then because I'd never been up there before. And then a couple other ones, but then a week later went back and did it 3 days in a row. First time up Kiener's. So, I mean, one aspect of pursuing more technical routes in the mountains is you need the footwear that's going to enable you to do it safely and efficiently. With this, where there's snow travel, there's scrambling on 5th class rock, you need sticky rubber, you need lugs that are going to inspire confidence, and you need a more robust upper for loose scree, off-trail travel, kicking across a snow slope, that kind of thing. I immediately started becoming much more particular about what I wanted out of a running shoe, I guess. The performance mod, probably like hallmark, is this pair of slingshots. I did this. These are from 2006 or 2007, but they're from one of the years that I won Leadville. As you can see, there's no outsole in the heel. It's completely like shaved down flat.
I took the padding out of the tongue. I cut the tongue shorter so it wouldn't like rub the front of my ankle. I wore no insoles, and there's no insoles in there. Just like straight, like I just wanted to be as low and minimal. It's crazy. Like 100 miles, dude. Just like barefoot inside of here with no insole. Oh, never, dude. Yeah, I couldn't do that anymore. These are kind of crazy. These are Crosslights from, this was an early pair from 2008. A lot of performance mods. I like cut around the ankle more, make them lower. But these are one of the first pairs of shoes I resold. This has like sticky dot rubber on it. And then like I was like trimming like extra midsole off to like make it thinner. I don't know, just crazy stuff, dude. This is kind of like the latest. So this is a Prodigio. This has been out for a year now, at least a little over a year. But like a stock Prodigio, I should have one here. Like here's a stock Prodigio. Oh, these are the ones that I wore on the LA freeway actually. And as you can see, they have these shoes have one run on them, and they're just like not so nice in the talus. But a stock Prodigio has that for an outsole, but I got these resold to have a more aggressive outsole on them, just as like a test, because I like a little higher lug, but I really like the way that the Prodigio holds my foot and comfort over like, you know, several hours and hours.
And with now well over a decade of experience in the high mountains, it's really gratifying to use that experience to give back to the larger community of athletes by hopefully developing products that are going to facilitate those kinds of experiences for them. It's really satisfying now, almost 20 years later, from like the first pair of Sportiva slingshots that I bought, and I was, you know, kind of like cutting and hacking away at them to modify them to my specifications, to now actually getting to sit down and talk with designers and product developers at headquarters in Val di Fiemme in Italy, and having that direct influence on product and hopefully bring something to the community that, you know, improves their experience in the mountain too. My first years on longs, you know, I was in my late 20s, and it's natural. I was at the peak of my physical powers, and it makes sense to be setting records up there then, but I don't know, I had the sort of delightful experience last summer of 12 years later improving my own FKT on Kieners by a substantial amount. It's a testament to how much a relationship with a place and repetition and accumulation of knowledge and time goes into being competent and comfortable in these kinds of landscapes. That's ultimately what motivates me the most about a peak like Longs. It's funny, I mean, I do longs a lot because it's the closest 14er, but I wouldn't do it nearly as much if it wasn't like as good of a mountain as it is.